Let us talk about Yang Shen, number 3. It is important to remember that not everyone is familiar with the foods that we recommend. We may have eaten tofu all our lives, whereas a patient has never even heard of it. Furthermore, a patient living in the countryside will often not have the same access to the variety of foods that are available in a large city. This means that we must be realistic in our dietary advice, tailoring and modifying it so that it is relevant to each individual client. It can be difficult also for a person to alter their diet radically when they live and eat with other people. For example, a husband and 2 children. Even though they are willing to change their eating habits, the rest of the family may not have the same motivation. It can complicate the situation if several members of the same family are being treated and they have patterns of imbalance that require conflicting dietary approaches. And some people find it difficult to change a diet in an appropriate direction due to ethical principles. This could be a vegan patient who is extremely blood deficient. Our job is to educate people about the causes and effects of, as well as the possibilities to positively influence their imbalances. They can make their own choices, and we should not be the judge of these choices. Our advice will often conflict with a person's desires and passions. As it was written here, I think it is important that we present people with information that can improve their condition, but from then on, it is their own choice. This is especially important when people do things that, from a Chinese medicine perspective, are detrimental to their health. They often do these things because they give pleasure or because, in fact, they help to ameliorate another pattern of imbalance. Some people, for example, do excessive physical training because it relieves their liver qi stagnation. If they did not exercise as much as they do, the symptoms and signs of the liver qi stagnation would be accentuated. This creates a conundrum if they are simultaneously liver blood deficient. The excessive physical training relieves their liver qi stagnation, but is also an etiological factor in their liver blood deficiency. It is also a complicating factor when inappropriate behavior or diet are sources of pleasure and enjoyment. By stopping someone from drinking a glass of red wine in the evening or running 20 kilometers in the woods 3 times a week, we remove something from their life that is nourishing their heart qi. In these cases, it is important to try and find something else that gives them pleasure or something that they are passionate about, so that we do not exacerbate or create a new pattern of imbalance in their heart. A person with spleen qi deficiency will often have a very sweet tooth. Their craving for sweetness will make it difficult for them to avoid eating sugar, sweets, cakes, honey, dried fruit, and so on. They could also have a heart imbalance. That means that they comfort eat those sweet things. It is important that the patient does not feel that we judge them. They are often very good at doing this themselves without our help. It is, of course, a balancing act, trying to be strict enough that they adhere to our recommendations, but at the same time, not creating feelings of guilt and inadequacy when they don't succeed in doing what is best. We must find a way to support and help them without feeling judgment on our part. Thank you so much for your attention.